clearly something else that is on the agenda of the news. It's on the front page of the newspaper almost every day. We are in the midst of a global refugee crisis. There are millions and millions of Syrians fleeing Syria, but that's certainly not the only population that's fleeing. People are leaving Afghanistan, Iraq, Northeast Africa. Eritrea is a country where a lot of these individuals are also coming from, and we're seeing unprecedented numbers of individuals who are fleeing their homes because of persecution and because it's no longer safe for them to be there. The United Nations has a refugee resettlement program which singles out individuals or families to be moved from wherever it is that they're currently living. It's usually in a country outside their country of origin, most often refugee camps, and resettles them in a third country. The United States participates in this program. Currently, it accepts about 70,000 refugees per year, but President Obama has promised to up that number to 100,000 in response to the global refugee crisis. Once these refugees get to the United States, they are placed in communities throughout the country, in states that have agreed with the federal government to accept refugees into their communities and allow them to begin again. But you will notice on this map at the bottom right-hand corner that Wyoming is a different color. And the reason Wyoming is a different color is because we are the only state in the United States that doesn't participate in the federal refugee resettlement program. And, there are various theories about why, and I'm, somewhat new to the state, so I'm still trying to understand the history, but, some arguments that have been put forward is that Wyoming doesn't have a big enough population. It's too cold for refugees. There just hasn't been the political will in the state to join this program. So whatever the historical reason is, we are now at a point where we are the only country that doesn't participate in, or the only state that doesn't participate in this program. And there's a question about whether or not we should. And Governor Meade has been taking this into consideration, especially as now more than ever, we need places for refugees to go and to start their lives again. And we're wondering if Wyoming should be a state that joins this program and welcomes people into its communities, especially those most vulnerable that have fled persecution in their countries of origin. And so there are going to be further opportunities to discuss this issue. It's certainly something that you'll see commentaries in the newspaper. There are going to be community discussions that I encourage you all to think about and participate in. I feel very passionately about this as a human rights lawyer, as an immigration lawyer. I think that we as a state have a lot of interesting things to offer, and I don't see anything exceptional about Wyoming that should keep us from participating in this program. It's a very complex system where federal funds get filtered down to the states, and voluntary agencies like Lutheran Family Services, for example, actually do the resettling, where they help a family find a place to live. They find job training, they do English language skills training, and so there's a whole system in place to help people acculturate and start their lives over again. I think Wyoming would be an excellent place to do this. I'm certainly happy to talk to any of you more about that if you have questions, or if you have questions about the logistics of the program. But those are some of the hot button issues currently being talked about in immigration law. Certainly, there are